Hello, this is my lynching story, part two. And like I was saying in the end of part one, they were driving me back to college, blindfolded and hogtied. And after we got about maybe 30 miles from the college, they pulled over, untied me, and unblindfolded me. And they told me, here come the deal. Here come the deal. We kidnapped you in front of the black student body because we want to show you how stupid you was. Every week, risking your life for a bunch of losers who won't lift a finger for you. Asked them why didn't nobody had a quarter to call 911. Asked them why ain't nobody wrote down all the tag numbers and the description of the cars. Asked them why ain't nobody reach out to even try to stop us or to say we're gonna call the police. None of them did that. You know why? Because they don't give a fuck about your black ass. Just like niggers never stick together. Niggers never stick together. That's the only advantage we got over y'all black asses. So when you get there, you ask them. And after they tell you why, we got a surprise waiting for you. We got 2 garbage cans full of drinks. One full of beer, the other one full of soda. We got 2 trays of barbecue ribs and 2 trays of ribs. We want you to feed them niggers good and your little hippie friends. Feed them good. And while you feeding them, you tell them this right here. You can no longer interfere in claim business, or it's going to result in immediate death. You can tell them anything you want to let them know that this week on you doing, we're going to let them have a good week the whole week. But the next week, may God have mercy on their motherfucking soul. And you better not interfere. Because we're going to show them that the claim run this motherfucker. Not the doom. And we're going to let that message be clear next week. The week after next, we're going to let that message be clear that the claim run this motherfucking college. And not the motherfucking doom. The doom ain't shit. So you remember, when you self-regulating, them boys, let them boys know that you can't help. And I said, remind you I'm playing a game now. Hey boss, since some will be y'all property, can y'all let the students go to school in peace in the dorms and on campus? Boy, you got some goddamn nerve. You just escaped death? And you still worrying about them sorry no good son of a bitches? Slaves don't give goddamn orders. Then that was one of the other claim members say, hey boss, this nigga got some nerves in him. A slave making requests and all of them went to laughing, you know. And this what the boss said. You know what? You and I are partners now. So I'm going to bring that to the boss's attention. That you requested that we lay off activity at the college, including the dormitory. I'm going to turn into the boss, but boy, I think you pushing up a wrong tree. Because you's a goddamn slave, nigga. Then we pulled into the college. I opened up my room door. 2 big giant garbage cans of beer. Man, ice. I mean big garbage cans, probably the biggest they make. Aluminum garbage can or whatever that be, galvanized or whatever that. I don't know what the hell that is. But 4 trays of meat, foot to the top. So everybody ran to my room immediately. I don't even know how they saw me. I guess they were still hoping and praying that I make it back in one piece. So they all run to my room and, they all happy, patted me on the back, patted me on the head. So I said, hey, tell me something. I see about 6 of the guys who saw me get kidnapped, right? I said, man, tell me something before we go to eating. Everybody grab a drink, but I want to say something. I said, why ain't nobody called 911, man? A guy named Jay Bubbles, he from Charleston, he William, a.k.a. Wiggy roommate. And Jay Bubbles say, I didn't want to spend my last quarter because I'm supposed to call my girl tonight. Everybody bust out the window laughing, and my heart dropped to my stomach. I'm crying on the inside. And I say, Jay Bubble, my life not worth a quarter? Then not when it comes for my girl. Everybody just laughing. But I'm crying on the inside. Now me and Jay Bubble, me and Jay Bubble, roommate, were close. Me and William were like brother. William, a.k.a. Wiggy. That's what I call him, Wiggy. And I say, Wiggy, damn, Wiggy, I was looking at you as they were putting me in the car. I said, you ain't thought about calling the police or getting tag number in case I die, they can track these guys down? We say, no, Doom. I say, Wiggy, why? Say, because you the Doom. Everybody bust out there laughing and they all on the ground laughing. And I say, William, are you serious? He said, I just figured you the Doom. They all laughing again. And I said, well, here come the rules here. Here come the rules. I can no longer interfere in the claim business. From now on, when y'all fight, y'all on y'all own. Don't call my name. Don't look my way. Because you know why? If I do, I die. And I don't think none of you motherfuckers worth dying for. The claims say they did it to prove a point to me. To show me that I'm risking my life week after week for you sorry motherfuckers. Y'all tell me, but I got a basketball scholarship. I'm going to lose my scholarship. So y'all let me fight. Whether it's 6, whether it's 3 or 4, I'm helping y'all, but now y'all never help me fight, and I'm fighting all these guys by myself while y'all just watch. And then after the fight, y'all talk a good game about what y'all would have did or could have did. But I'm just telling y'all, we're on our own, from our own. So now we eating, enjoying ourselves. And what you say, Doom, how we know their food ain't poison? I said, you don't understand that. He said, no, they can kill all this at one time. I said, you still don't understand, right? I said, let me tell all you motherfuckers something. On the property of the Ku Klux Klan, they won't poison their own property. So they all started eating again. I ain't explained to them about property, but they all started eating. So night come. I'm all alone, cause I got a room by myself. I'm all alone. I'm sitting on the bed, just thinking, what the hell just happened? And next thing I know, my room transformed it. It transformed it. And I'm up in the mountains. I'm looking down at a bunch of people who in the clouds doing some type of ceremony. And I'm wondering what's going on. Is a guy on a stretcher on a body of rocks, a bunch of beautiful women with feather bras in feather skirt, the same color. The feather was like dark maroon with black tips. It's like 6 to 8 women on each side of the guy laying on the rocks. Some kind of stretcher. It's a guy in front of me. Well, I didn't know it was me at the time, but it was a guy in front with all yellow on. He had a yellow bird head with large yellow feathers. And he was chanting some kind of ritual. And they were having some kind of ceremony. Now, I'm still looking at it from a 3D perspective. But I see the front of me. But all of a sudden, it was a lady in front of me with her hands out. You know, with her hands out. And man, she was holding hand, man, her was holding hand, and now I was sitting up, and everybody was celebrating. Everybody was throwing rose petals. Everybody was chanting, and it was a celebration. So I was wondering, what kind of ceremony was that? To bring me back to life ceremony? But who was the lady? You know, the next thing I know, poof, I'm back in my dorm room. I'm sitting on the bed, and my angel, and mind you, I'm a walk, and my angel, she got up, and she said, I hope you don't get mad. But God said, in order for me to save you, that we must become heavenly man and wife. And through all the commotion, I forgot to ask your permission. Do you accept the marriage, or is you mad at me? And I said, I accept the marriage. Who don't want to be married to an angel? I said, and we were married in the 1800s. She said, yeah. I said, but tell me something. Did I die? Yes, you were dead, David. I say, so what I just saw up in the hills and the mountain was real? And that guy brought me back to life? She said, it's real, David. Are you mad? I said, I ain't mad, but I don't get what's going on. Why don't y'all let me die? Why do y'all keep saving me? If I would have died, man, you could have been together forever and traveled in the past to the future and everything. We could have been together forever, man. Let me die. I can't read. I'm not going to get through this college when I can't read. And I don't understand why God just keep making me fight every day. I know you said I got to train, but goddamn. But then that was she dropped her head and dropped the tail and she disappeared, right? So a week passed, the college was quiet. Everybody was happy. Next week come, I was walking to the lunchroom. And I went through Granger Hall for a shortcut. And I heard some commotion. So I'm walking, I see somebody slamming J Bubba from back and forth on the walls. The walls are solid concrete. And he hollering and screaming. Now J Bubba's a heavy, big dude. And then they drove him down and went and stumped him. So I kept walking, and J Bubba saying, Doom, help, Doom. He had the arm out. Doom, help. He was laying on the ground. Help me, Doom, please help me, Doom. And I thought about the quarter. And I kept walking. Get your girlfriend to help you. Because you were going to let me die to talk to her on the phone. That's what I was saying to myself. Then I walked by Kirk. He was on the ground and two rednecks were stomping Kirk. Kirk is all muscles from the Bahamas. And he my homeboy because I'm part Bahamian. So it hurt me leaving Kirk because Kirk ain't with that nonsense, you know. And Kirk went at the party when I had the beer and the ribs and all that because Kirk is a psych major, and he closed his door at 6 o'clock, and he gonna study till he fall asleep. So he ain't nobody. Me and the Clang had a deal, and I won't help no more. So Kirk said, "Help me, don't help me, don't help me, don't." I kept walking. I went out the exit, tears in my eyes, crying. I went to the lunchroom, quiet, everybody. What wrong, doing what wrong? I ain't telling about my boys getting stumped back there, you know what I'm saying? So when I went to my room that night, Jeff came in my room, he say, "Doom," Jeff looking sad. Cause I can't help them no more, He say, "Doom, Kirk leaving tomorrow." And he said he wanted to say goodbye. So I saw him, Jeff, I saw him. He said, "He told you he's leaving?" I said, "Yeah, Jeff." I said, "But I told him, Jeff, that once I started fighting, the Clang, I made a deal with them to back off the students. They ain't gonna jump on y'all no more. They say long as I win 3 fights, and I asked them to give me them 3 fights in 1 week, and they all went to laughing, saying they don't think I'm gonna win 1 fight. And ain't no way here you want to fight 3 people in 1 day." I say, "Bring them all in 1 day." I say, "Do what I do, bro. Y'all don't understand, right?" So Jeff said, "Well, maybe I can talk him into not leaving tomorrow." I said, "Yeah, see, can you talk to him, man? Because if I win 3 fights, we ain't gonna get jumped no more, right?" Kirk left. Anyway, the Clang leader come, pay me a bill. Him and his goons. And he say, "Boy, I don't know who you is, or what them son of a bitch see in you, but they okay your request. You win 3 fights, we can no longer harass the students at the college, as long as you winning." And then the other Clang say, "Who is this nigger? How he avoided death? Now he calling shots? Is this nigger our boss too?" And that man say, "If you ever make a remark like that, bitch, you going to your grave. Don't you talk to me like that." See, I'm just saying, boss, I'm just saying, why did nigga get to call shots? And and I said, "I appreciate it, boss." Shook the hand. He's like, "We got a boy coming out of Georgia, and that boy bad. So we're gonna give you a coach. And when that coach say jump, you jump. When he say train, you train. We don't give a damn what you doing. Stop when that coach knock on your door. Y'all already know each other because y'all live in the dorm together. And you refuse this coach 1 time, that's your black ass, boy." So everything went good from there, And I was always wondering, how can I marry an angel? In 30, 40 years passed, and I started going to these rooms on Facebook, these near-death rooms, these spiritual rooms, and experts are in them rooms. And a lady contacted me. She said, "You wonder why you married to an angel?" I said, "Oh, yes, ma'am." She said, "Well, most likely on the other side, you're an angel. Didn't you say that you were one of 4 leaders in God's army?" I said, yes, ma'am." She said, "Well, God's army consists of 172 or 182 angels, warrior angels. And in order for you to be over the warrior angel, you have to be a high angel, more than likely." She said, "But if you died and nobody met you but God, it's the reason nobody met you. Because God was probably the only one who could control you." So she said, "Son, I think you're an angel on the other side. Because angels come to earth for the human experience. And they get no help. They get no free way. They must experience the angel experience. And most likely it one of the harder experience what human has to live. And that's me. Everything that go bad, go bad. Everything that go wrong, go wrong. Everything that like retarded happen, it happened to me. Can't nobody figure out. But that what a chosen one is. Everything go bad and you must figure it out. And that's my story. Lynching story part 2. My name is David J. Stubbs, and you can get my books at davidjstubbs.com. Thank you, and God bless.